So one of them is a to the power of 2 times a to the power of 3. You will get a
5.
y
A
2 plus
6,
3.
6.
No, it's 2
Oh.
plus 3. So it's a to the power of 5. Times is plus for the power. So divide is what?
Minus.
Yes, so it's 3 minus 1 equals to a to the power of 2. Then what about this? So the 3 will go in, right? Right? The cube will go in, right? So this is 2 times 3. That will give you a to the power of 6. Okay? So I talk about a to the power of 0 or 1 to the power of 0 or 5 is equal to 5 to the power of 0 is all. Anything to the power of 0 is?
0.
No, it's 1. You can test. Test it on the spot. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course you have the a to the power of negative 2. So if you have negative power, can you see all everything here is positive or 0 power, but this one is negative power, right?
Yeah.
How do you do negative power? So if you have negative power, you need to 1 over it, change it to positive power. Okay? So let's say now you have 4 to the power of negative 2. So this one will be, you change it to positive, you must 1 over 4 to the power of 2. So it's 1 over 16. Are you clear? Okay, so for positive power, you make use of the rules above. For 0 power, it's always 1. For negative power, you 1 over it, become positive. Does it make sense? So with this, I think you can do the question already. So basically these are the rules I need to make use of later on for the questions here. They give you a lot of questions. Not a lot, but good enough. Let's look at them one by one. Of course, you need to know which one to apply. So the 1b first. So it's to the power of 6 times to the power of 5. So this one is which rule?
It's 3:30.
I see times. Can you stand and come and point to me? Otherwise I don't know. So I see a times. So which rule? First one, right?
Yeah.
So if you have the first one, that means you plus the power, right?
Yeah.
Basically over here is same base and multiply, right? So same base multiply, you use the first one, right? So the first one says the power must add together. Can you see?
Yeah.
So therefore the power add together, so there's negative 4 bracket 11. So can you use the calculator and help me out?
Negative
Mm.
4194
4194
304.
304. But anyway, the question says it must in index notation. Can you see index notation?
Yeah.
You know what's the meaning of index notation? Yes or no?
No.
You have no idea. Okay, never mind. I don't blame you. This format is called index notation. What about this format? Answer. So it depends which one they want you to write down. in this question they want you to write down in index notation, right?
Yeah.
So this is the format. So this is the answer for the, okay? So this is not the answer, this is called the value. So in this case they don't want the value, they want the index notation. So you are supposed to give this answer. Are you clear? Are you clear?
Yeah.
Next question. So next question is 3y 2 times 8y7. First thing first, do you have the same base? Do you have the same base?
Yes.
Where's the same base?
Uh,
This is 3y square. This one?
8
8
y7.
y7. So do you have which one is the same base?
The
So the first thing you do is you open the bracket first. When it's times, right, the bracket can be just removed. Okay? So once you remove, can you see that you can 3 can times the 8? That will give you 3 times the 8 will give you 24. Y squared times the y7. So basically you have y squared times the y to the power 7. Can you see that you have the same base already now?
yeah.
And the base is
The
y. Right?
yeah.
So when you have same base, you have the power and times. So what's the rule for this one? So it's 24. When you y what?
40. 8
The power is plus or
9.
9. Correct. Simple? Simple?
Yeah.
So basically if you have this, then you just times the number first. And then you times the same base y. And when you times the same base y, then you use the rule number 1, which is here. Okay? Add the power together. Okay? So you need to really know the rules very well. By the way, the rules are not given to you. You need to memorize. Are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Next. This question. So it's a to the power 11 divided by a to the power 4. So can you see it's the same base? Same base and divide, right? Right? So same base and divide, which rule you use? Second one. So the same base will give you the same base, and the power you need to?
Yeah. Minus.
Yes, so it's 11 minus 4. It's 8 to the power 7. So this is index notation. Are you clear? Next question. Next question is this one. Okay, can you see you have a bracket here? And there are times, right? Just get rid of it. Okay? Next, can you see that you have number is 15y to the power of 9. So I copy the question wrongly. Okay? So can you see that you have number and number? Just divide first. So negative 15 divided by 5, what do you get? Negative 3. And then this this y9 and divide by okay, actually this, when you use divide, right, I think the best way to do is not use the divide sign. You should change this to divide. Is also called what? Over, right?
Yeah.
So you just change it to over. Okay? So once you have this, negative 15, okay, so negative 15 and 5, I think you can split the negative 15 into 5 and negative 3, right? Right?
Yeah.
And then the 5 you can split to 5 and 1. And then this one y over 9, okay, good, fine. So it's 9 over y over 4. So can you see that you can cancel the 5?
Yeah.
So you are left with negative 3 on top, 1 below, right?
Mm.
So therefore it's negative 3. So you have y over 9, y to the power of 9, y to the power of 4 is divide, so you use
Minus.
y.
Minus.
So it's 9 minus 4, which is 5. Okay? So that's the final answer. Negative 3 y to the power of 5. Are you clear? So when you use divide, right, it's good to use the over. Okay? Last one. So we have used the rule number 1 and the rule number 2 so far. So the next one is, let's see what rule we need to use. This is H25, right? So I think we need to use the rule number 3, which is this one. You have a bracket and you have a power outside the bracket. So your this 5 will times in, right?
Yeah.
So it's H2. Can you see times, right? 2 times the 5, so it's H to the power of 10. Okay? So similarly below, 3 to the power of 14 times 5, 2, 7. Can you see that you have a power outside the bracket?
Yeah.
So you need to use the, so if I call this rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3, I should use rule number 3, right? So the 7 will go in. So therefore 3 to the power of 14, then 4 to the power of 14. Ha! So what is the problem here? This is not same base, but this is what? Same power. Right? So this is same power. Can you see same power? Both 14, right?
Yeah.
So if the same power, then how? Okay? So the power will remain the same, and then you just times the inside, or times the base. So you get 15 to the power of 14. Are you clear? So there is one more rule, which is our fourth rule, is, what about same power? So when you have the same power, you put the power out times the base together. What if it's divide? Same thing. Put the power out because same power ma. A divided by B. Clear? Can? Next. Last question. So I need to make it smaller. So the last question is oh, the last question is very funny. But you should use one of this. So you need to be very good with all the rules here. So it's negative 3x to the power of 6 and 4. Can you see that the 4 will go inside this one?
Yeah.
And actually the 4 will also go inside the negative 3. Or it will also go to the negative. So over here, right, if you look at this, basically you have the negative, you have the, or you can see this as a negative 3 together. You will see this as the x to the power of 6. So basically, your power 4 will go into each of them. If you go into the negative 3, you will go into this. So how you do it is negative 3, the 4 will go to the negative 3, right? That's your first arrow. The second arrow will be this. Okay? So what do you get for the second arrow? So because it's outside the bracket, it's times, right? Then for this one, you just use your calculator. What's the calculator give you? For this one? Remember there is a bracket, huh?
81.
81. So just continue, so it's 81 times x to the power of 24. So that's the answer. Are you clear? Can you see how the power go into each of the term? Okay, because this is the negative number, so you need a bracket. Okay, so that's how you do all the indices question, by making use of all the rules here. Okay, so I need you to get this into your notebook. So you go home and watch this video, get it down. So for negative power, so far there is only one formula. The rest are positive and zero power. Okay, so there are quite a number of rules here you need to memorize before you can do indices. Are you clear? Okay, good.